Okay, I ordered a couple of these radios, reasonable price. It is the TD, I believe M11, TD-M11, 22 channel unit, GMRS units only. The advantage of these units is that anyone can use it. They're designed for people who want some UHF communication, but don't want to bother licensing, things of that sort. You don't need a license. You don't need a certificate. You can buy this. You can give it to your kids even. And it has some limitation. I believe 2 watts is the maximum. And the antenna is designed so you can't replace it. That's usually the regulation. So if you find the H3, H8 is something that you don't want to handle because you're in a country where regulations are strict, I should say. It varies from country to country. So, plus I have grandkids and I have kids, and they're not all licensed. So I was looking for something that they can use when we go camping, and I don't have to worry about what they do with it. So I got this, and it has Bluetooth built in. You have 2 buttons on the side. Whoops, wrong. Yeah, that's 2 buttons. Yes, it's a plus and minus. If you hold long by pushing the button in, this first one, channel plus, will enable Bluetooth. If you hold the other one and hold it long press, you'll get the weather channels. I believe out of 11 or 12, 1 is available for us in this area. If you use OD Master, you can program it for other features. Like, for example, the squelch on this is set at 3 versus the H3, H8, where the default squelch is 5. So if you want to increase the squelch so that you get less noise coming through, or less, but you can push this button and set it up so that the squelch opens up completely. So there's a few options in here. It's light. It doesn't feel cheap. And it has a clip that you can pop out. Okay. I notice it has connectors there, so they probably have a dock for it, but I haven't seen it. And USB-C. This is for charging, so you can use your Apple charger, but it comes with a charger of its own and a cable. And you also have the regular Kenwood, so you can plug in a speaker, for example, a speaker mic. And all you have here is a on and off button.
Turn on the radio. 1.
Okay, if I want Bluetooth, I'll hold this button. I think it's called channel plus. Yeah, channel plus. Hold it long enough. There you go, Bluetooth. So when you see the red light after you finish with Bluetooth, best to turn it off because it will save on the battery. I'm going to turn it off there. And let me put it back on.
Turn on the radio.
Okay, turning it off and on will also turn off the Bluetooth. That's good. I'm going to show, before I do that, I took one apart here. the battery compartment snaps in. There is a washer in there, so be sure you don't forget to put it back if it comes off, but it should stay in. I think I opened 2 and only 1 popped out. So, and this is where the battery is going. Okay, I'm going to show how to connect this to OD Master. I haven't tried the other apps yet, such as Chirp. I'm not even sure if there's even an update option for these, because it's quite simple. It's designed to have little interaction with it. The only feature that I would turn off, which I'm going to try to do that, is to turn off the voice. Apparently, you can turn on the language, English, Chinese, whatever, Mandarin, or off. So I would have it off. But that's something you need to decide. The manual gives instructions without using a program. Function introduction. There's a crack and copy frequency via a side button. Apparently wireless copy. English and Chinese switch. It says select Chinese, English, or off. And you have to be on, what channel? There you go, channel 15. Long press the push to talk button and channel plus key at the same time to turn on the radio. Okay, I have to see how that works. I did take a look on OD Master and I didn't see that option there, so I'll take a second look. And your NOAA weather forecast. So the frequency range, 400 to 480. So it is UHF. You do have the option of putting codes in if you want to block other activity, not hear it. Maybe you set up a squelch code system so that only your radios hear each other. But if you're in an area where there's, like in the woods, camping, things of that sort, it's unlikely you'll come across others. Okay, let me switch over to my computer, a MacBook Pro. Okay, I've launched Google Chrome, and the reason why I'm using Chrome, I should say, is because it's the only browser right now that supports Bluetooth. So let me just turn off this radio. Okay, now you take your TD-M11 channel 22. Don't take the one that's further below where it says TD-M11. I don't know if it's an older model but it won't work. This is the one you have to select. So select that, do an add. Now in order to read, you need to turn the radio on.
Turn on the radio.
And hold channel plus button for a few seconds. There we go, until it beeps, and you'll see a Bluetooth icon on top. And now you can go in and hit connect. It does a scan. There you go, pair. Okay, I already made changes on this unit, but we'll read it, and I'll explain what changes I made. How's this testing?
Turn on the radio. 1.
Okay, I got to turn off that voice somehow. Okay, the frequencies and transmit frequencies unchanged. Those are the default, including the decoder, encoder. transmit power, there was high, there was low options. Some were on low, some is high. I just for the fun of it turn it on high to see. And the default is narrow. Okay. Again, some were, I believe, yeah, they were all narrow, I believe the default were. Compounder, scramble, didn't touch, frequency hop, didn't touch, scan add, didn't touch. And BCI, I'm not sure even what that is. Carrier. Okay. You can export. Interesting thing, when I exported it, even though I had wide and even though I had high power, it all exported as narrow and some high, some low. Actually, no, they were all set up for low power. 1 watt. Okay, so don't know why. What do we have here? Okay, now we do have, that's the channel, option features. Voice prompts. Ah, there we go. We could turn it off. Great. And Bluetooth. So you have none, monitor, scan. So if you set up scan, hold the button, it will scan all 22 channels. So I would do a lot of programming, so I would leave Bluetooth on. Weather, well, maybe hitting scan would be a better idea. Or if you're always working on the fringe of a signal, you can use the monitor, so push the button and it opens the squelch. Let me try scan. I'm just curious to see how that would work. Okay, I'm just going to do a right.
Turn on the radio. 1.
Okay, it doesn't look like it turned that off. Let me do a read.
Turn on the radio. 1.
Okay, looks like it didn't turn it off. So I guess there needs to be an update. OD Master is not up to date.
Turn on the radio. 1.
Okay. Let me turn off the unit.
Turn on the radio. 1. Turn on the radio.
And that's interesting too. Let me just move the channels across.
2. 1. No. 1A. 1.
So every time you hit a channel. Okay, I'll record this using my phone there so you know what I'm doing. Okay, that's basically it, and it's obvious we can see that it doesn't make the changes. And I believe chirp, let me try chirp here. Download from the radio. No, chirp doesn't even work. Okay. So at least we know that. Okay, I'm going to switch over to the iPhone and show you the rest. Okay, I'm back from the OD Master site on my laptop. Let's
Turn on the radio.
obviously
1.
we can't seem to turn off the voice here yet. Okay, let's do an audio test. Testing 1, 2. Hold on. Testing 1, 2. Am I on the right channel here? Testing. Oh, I'm on the wrong channel on this one. That's why. Okay. I was on channel 17. Let me get back to 1. There you go. Testing. Oops. Testing. Let me turn down the volume. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2. Okay. As long as you don't talk too loud, the audio quality is good. Whether it's wideband or narrow band, FM, I don't know. Though I set it for wideband, but when I export as a CSV file and I look at it, it's all narrow. So I guess you can't change it. That's probably a regulation thing, I think. And likewise with the power. 1, 2 watts that's it. Okay. There you go. You were hearing me talking both. I better go from a further distance and see what the difference it makes. Okay, I'm about 20 feet away. Let me go. I'm going to go outside here a little bit. And let's see how this works. Okay, I am outside. And the building is concrete, so give you an idea. Okay, I'm going to come back. And I'll know myself how well it works. There we go. We're back again. Okay, the batteries on these are not as big as the H3 and H8. TD-M11 they call it. Okay. So, you give it to the kids. Don't have to worry about it. Quite simple. And it's okay for even adult use. You know, you're camping. What I find handy when you're camping is I have one in the trailer on all the time. Have one outside the campsite. Have one in the truck. And if you have a boat, in the boat, fishing gear, you have contact with your family. If you're a parent, that's a big concern. I know when we went camping and we had our grandkids along with them, they'd go to the playground, which was a good 5-10 minute walk. It's nice to have connections. You kind of worry less. And if there's a need for help, no matter where I am, truck, trailer, or outside the trailer, I hear it. So it's something that you don't want to spend a lot of money in just using it for that. So they're cheap enough. And if you use my SimplyOffGridLife code, you'll get a 10% discount, and they often go on sale. So for those who don't want to get an H3 or an H8, this is an option. Oh, one more thing we're going to do. We want to turn off that voice. Let's see if it works. Okay, the instructions. Oops. The radio must be on channel 15. Long press the push to talk button and channel plus key at the same time to turn on the radio. That don't make sense, to turn on the radio. Are they saying you got to turn on the radio while holding those buttons? You can select the language of voice announcements on programming software. Okay, we see English, Chinese, which we did, but it didn't work. Let's try. Okay. Which one is on? I think it's this one. Let me turn it off. Hold these two buttons. 1, 2.
Turn on the radio.
Nothing happens. Okay, there's a light flashing, which is telling me something.
2,
No.
1.
Well, I got to be 15, right? Okay, let's go to 15.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Okay.
8, 9, 10,
Should have went the other way. It was quicker.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Okay, now we turn it off. Let's be sure it's still on
Turn
15.
on the radio. 1,
Ah, turning it off. Put you all the way back again. Okay.
1, 15.
Okay, now we hold the push to talk and this. Long press. Nothing's happening. Let's try the other button. Okay. Unfortunately,
Turn on the radio.
for now,
15.
it doesn't seem to work. Let's see. Just
Turn
click.
on the radio. 15.
Okay, it says 15. Let me try this again. And power up.
Turn on the radio.
Okay, I'm holding it. It keeps the display on. Nothing touching here.
15.
Oh, it worked that time.
16.
Oh, I have Chinese. That's all. Oh, for some reason I hit 16. Let me go back.
15.
Okay. Let's try it off. Turn it off again.
开机。 15.
Okay. Let's try it again.
Turn on the radio. 15.
No, looks like just 2 languages only. No option to turn it off.
开机。 15.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so according to the manual, it does not work with this current firmware. I don't think I've seen a firmware update on this yet at OD Master Software, but we'll keep an eye out on it. Generally speaking, the only time you hear it would be when you first power up.
Turn on the radio. 15.
And if you do it fast enough, you can avoid.
1.
So if you leave it on 1 or whatever channel you use once it's all set up, then the only time you hear it is when you power up, hopefully. Okay, so that's a quick review and the things that I've found so far. I got 4 of these, and the plan was to give it to my kids and grandkids. So hopefully they get some fun out of it. I gave them a much cheaper, really toyish one last year, so I'm hoping this would be better for them. So that's again the TD-M11 channel, 22 channel. I have a link on the video. If you're interested in any of these radios, whether it be the antennas, the H3, H8, I have to say I do like the H3 for RVing, camping. You know, where I use these not for charging, but for them to stand when I'm not using it. And I just put these little straps so I can, when I'm testing, I can identify which models are which, so I don't make a mistake. They work fine. I have no issues with it. The advantage of course, the H8, more power. So when I'm working longer distance, it does help. So depending on what your qualifications are, you have a choice. And again, if this is of interest, these reviews or opinions, whatever you want to call them, my experience with them, if I find something wrong with them, you know, I'll tell you. If I like something, great. Like on my last video, I tested these 15-inch antennas. I'm still impressed. I keep testing it every so often to be sure I'm not imagining it. But the standing wave ratio, it's unbelievable how low it is using it. The rubber ducky, not as good, but still more than adequate. It's to be expected, being such short physically. The environment around it will have a more adverse effect. So, to be expected. Okay. Again, subscribe and thumbs up, because YouTube ignores me if you don't put thumbs up, apparently. So, I would like to get more people take a look at it and give feedbacks. You know, that's how I improve on something. I don't consider myself a video expert or anything like that, but I use what I do have. Okay, take care. Have a nice day.